Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be giving you guys some last minute revision tips for the 11+. This is such a requested video from you guys. There are so many comments on my older 11+ videos saying that they want another 11+ video. So here I am with another one. And a lot of you guys are also saying that your exam is this year, so I decided to make a little bit of a last minute kind of video just so that you guys can continue with your preparation whilst keeping these quick tips in mind. If you haven't already watched my previous 11+ video, please watch it, because I give so many good tips in that, and some of the tips that I give in that I will be reiterating today, but I have tried to keep this video as original as possible. I've come up with new tips, but that video, so many good tips, so please do watch that video as well. I'll put up a thumbnail here and I'll link it down below, so do watch it because that has really good tips as well. Plus, if you want to look for like links or resources, go into that video's description box. I'll put some links in this description box as well, so go down below into the description box, open it up, and there's so many 11+ links, so hopefully you guys can prepare easily. If you liked my previous 11+ videos and you're watching this one as well, then please do give this video a like as well as the other ones, and please do give my channel a subscribe as it does help out the channel. Also, if you are looking for more study content, do follow my Instagram as I have a lot of things planned for it. I know I haven't really started posting that much on it, but I have a lot of plans for it, so please do subscribe and follow my Instagram. So let's get started with the general revision tips on how you should approach your studying for the 11+. So tip number 1 is practice makes progress, and I will be repeating this throughout the video, but basically all you want to do right now is just do as many past papers as you can. Past papers is the only way that you can actually test yourself, and by creating like mock exam conditions in your own bedroom, it will allow you to make the whole atmosphere more realistic, and therefore when you're actually in the exam hall, you won't feel like everything is just new. One way you can create exam conditions for yourself is timing yourself. Timing yourself is really important. Any past paper you do from now until the exam, you should time yourself, because it not only will allow you to see how quick you are, but also it will see whether you will drop any marks just because you're writing slowly. Another way you can create exam conditions is doing everything in silence. I feel like a lot of students do this already, but if you are the type of student who listens to music while doing anything, then I suggest now is not the time for that. Just leave the music alone and do it all in silence, because let's be honest, you won't have like earphones in the exams, so try and do everything in silence. By doing everything in exam conditions and just doing past papers from now until the exam, you can allow yourself to not only improve your speed but also just your exam technique, since when you're in the hall you won't feel like you've never done this before. You will actually feel familiar to the setting, and therefore you will do better because you won't stress about how everything is new. Tip number 2 is, after marking your past paper, find out your weaker points. So basically how you do this is see where you lost marks. So let's say I lost a mark in non-verbal reasoning and it was an odd one out question. And I've noticed a pattern that whenever I do past papers, I always lose marks in odd one outs. So what you want to do is, this is like your weaker area. Now that you've identified your weak area, prioritize this with worksheets and focus on getting all those worksheets to 100% before doing another past paper. Because if you keep on doing past papers again and again and again without actually looking where you went wrong, those mistakes will just continue throughout the rest of the past papers rather than actually being diminished by individual practice. So basically prioritize your weaker areas until you feel like you're 100% confident, and then move on to your like past papers and continue doing more past papers until you come across another weak area. If your weak area is not just like one specific question from one specific like section, if it's like the whole section, so let's say that you are quite good for verbal reasoning, you also like non-verbal reasoning as well, but you always lose marks for maths, then do individual practice for maths, and then, you know, after you feel like, okay, I'm getting the hang of this, then start doing all those like past papers again. Tip number 3 is don't be scared to redo a past paper. If you do manage to run out of past papers and like you've done all the sample papers you can find and all the practice papers from like CGP and Bond, then redo past papers. Like, don't be scared to redo them just because you've done them before, because our memory is not like the strongest thing ever. You may remember some of the questions, especially those you found tricky, but you won't remember the answers to all of the questions. So don't be scared to redo past papers. That's just a very quick tip for you guys. Number 4 is to take note of smaller mistakes. So these are mistakes where you've just got them wrong for the first time. So let's say this is not necessarily your weaker area. Like, you've just done a past paper and you usually get loads of like vocabulary questions correct, but this time you didn't get as many correct as like the previous times. So these are all the smaller mistakes that you need to write down. So for example, if you struggled with vocabulary for like one past paper, get a post-it note and write down the words that you got wrong, and like stick that post-it note on like your wall or like your like near your desk, so that whenever you sit down on your desk you will always look at those post-it notes. And when you write down on a post-it note like the word, write down the definition. If you find the definition quite hard to understand, try and summarize it to what you like find better to understand, if that makes sense, and just write it in your own words, because that will help you to remember it better. Also, don't forget to write down synonyms and antonyms of that word, since that will just expand your vocabulary. Number 5 is don't forget to work on your core skills. So what I mean by this is, don't just forget to like read a book. If you enjoy reading, it's very good actually, and just read a little bit every day leading up to the exam, because not only will it improve your vocabulary, but also it will improve like your reading speed. But read a book like whilst you're doing your exam. Another core skill you can do as like a warm-up before you start actually studying is doing mental arithmetic. So just get yourself a mental arithmetic worksheet, try and like time yourself for like a minute or two and do all those like quick sums very quickly. Finally, number 6 is to establish a balanced routine for yourself, where studying is included as well as free time, as well as like exercise or some sort of like activity. Don't neglect what you like to do just for studying. Obviously, I know there's a month left, but do focus on your studying, but then also take like a 1 to 2 hour break and just relax. Because if you stress and you like burn yourself out right before the exam, it will be hard to take in any knowledge, and it will just, your like entire preparation, it would just collapse. Now, my routine when I was doing the 11 plus, basically what I would do is I would wake up not really early, like I would say 9 to 10 a.m. because it was the summer holidays, right? And what I would do is I would like get up and just do all those morning tasks like changing your clothes and eating breakfast and all that stuff. Then I would sit down on my desk and just do loads and loads of 11 plus stuff. So I would do like 11 plus worksheets, 11 plus resources, 11 plus books, and I would do that until like 4 to 5 p.m. or like until like lunchtime, which would be like around 3 p.m. and then like I would eat lunch, and then I would be pretty much done for the day. I might do another hour of like work until like 4 to 5 p.m. maybe, but like definitely after 5 p.m. I was not doing any studying. I was just watching TV and reading and just doing things that I enjoyed. So that is it for the general revision tips section. If you did enjoy, please do subscribe and click that like button. And if you've made it to the end of the video, comment down below like a star emoji, and yeah, I will be sure to reply to you. Anyways, I'll see you guys later. Bye.